Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas. In November 2020, my brother Mateo contracted COVID-19 like so many of us did. But unlike most of us, he hasn't yet recovered. Mateo is now what is known as a COVID long hauler, a title given to those whose COVID symptoms last more than 3 months. So, yeah. In all this time, he's been documenting his ups, downs, victories, and setbacks through journals, medical records, and love letters to you, the listener. And if he's come to one conclusion, it is that COVID is stupid. One term that gets thrown around a lot in times of strife and pain and recovery, and no doubt, even in the production of this very podcast, is the term toxic positivity, the practice of forcing an overly optimistic outlook into the narrative. Now, the level to which this positivity can be deemed toxic is, and always will be, subjective. Do you trust the person conveying this positivity? Do you believe it yourself? Have you been down that road and have you found it beneficial to your own circumstances? There's no way to take something as complicated as the lives of the COVID long haulers out there and say, here's what you need to hear. No way. That's never been our aim. Our aim is to take some of what Mateo has learned and seen, experienced, found, and lost since November of 2020 and put it out there for anyone who might benefit from it. So many of you have been crucial in Mateo's recovery. You've been there for the ups and downs. You've shared yours with him. Well, in today's episode, Mateo shares with us his thoughts after 4 years of COVID. 4 years of knowing Reddit and almond butter. 4 years of knowing you, the long haulers who help keep him positive. Here's my big brother Mateo with 4th COVIDiversary.
Hello to all of you extraordinary, fierce, dead, sexy, long-hauling superstars. Today is my 4th COVIDiversary. Now, there are some who might hear that and say,
"That is such a long time to be sick."
While they're not wrong at all, I choose to think of it this way. That is such a long time to not be dead. That is such a long time to still be here. Because I am. Because we are. We are still here. It's been a long journey, that's for damn sure. And at the risk of coming across like a glass of toxic positivity thrown in one's face, I'd like to share a couple of things I picked up along the way. 1. Attitude makes a difference. Early on, wifey told me that it's good this happened to me, not her, because I'd always been one of the most annoyingly optimistic people she'd ever met. And she's not wrong. Like, ever. And you can tell her I said that. But these days, that trait is serving me well. Because I think this would be far, far harder if all I did was shake my fist at the heavens and cry, "Why me?" Sure, some days are harder than others, but I still have to make it to the end of that day, so I might as well make the most of it. And that leads me nicely into my next observation. B. It's okay to laugh. One of my favorite lines throughout this whole experience comes courtesy of Kiddo, who told me one day,
"Dad, when I push you on your wheelchair, people look at me and say, 'Aw, what a nice little girl.' But when I push you on your canes, People look at me and say, "Ah, what a mean little girl. I just don't know how to win."
That line still cracks me up. If I didn't laugh at the absurdity of long COVID, then it would swallow me whole. Fortunately, I really do look funny when I walk, so opportunities to laugh are abundant. Third, the power of no and the value of yes. Like many of us, I used to be the go-to person when something needed to be done. I said yes to almost anything that came my way, and people learned they could depend on me, so more and more began to come my way. And I thrived in that space. Running was my default setting, and I wouldn't have had it any other way because I enjoyed what I was doing and I was good at it too. Then, I decided to mix things up by becoming debilitatingly ill, to become chronically fatigued, to become agonizingly slow. What a wacky prankster I am! Long haulings taught me to be far more protective of my very limited energy. These precious, precious spoons. Long hauling taught me that it's okay to say no. I mean, not only now, when I have no other choice, but also when I come out the other side and I will have a choice. No allows us to prioritize our own needs against others' wants. No allows us to focus on the things we have to do today to build a better tomorrow. No makes yes all the more meaningful. No can apply to the things we do, the time we spend, the songs we sing, the hugs we give, and the thoughts we think. And so does yes. Roman numeral 4. I don't have to apologize. I should probably credit wifey and kiddo for this one, as it was they who started telling me that I don't have to say I'm sorry. Sorry for coughing so long that I no longer remember what I was saying. Sorry for forgetting what I was saying even if I wasn't coughing. Sorry for not remembering that I forgot what I was saying and wondering why nobody else is speaking. Or sorry for lots of other things that I can't remember at the moment. I don't have to apologize. I don't have to say I'm sorry. This is simply how my brain works today. This is simply how my body works today. There are things I'm no longer in control of. There are things I should no longer be trusted with. New symptoms, new issues, new limitations. There are lots of things that I can no longer do. However, Part 5. There is so much I can still do. I'm still here, and there are things I can still do. It looks wildly different than it did yesterday, and also wildly different than it will tomorrow. But I'm still here, damn it, and I can do so many things. And if I keep working my hardest day after day after day, every so often, something new gets added to the list. For example, I spent a long time where I'd misuse a word and get corrected, but the new word didn't make any sense. I'd say, I want to go sit in that car. And I'd get told, well, you probably mean you want to go sit in that chair. I'd nod and agree, but it felt like I was being corrected in a foreign language. That didn't sound right. It didn't feel right. I mean, in truth, my brain was shouting, that comfortable-looking object in the corner is obviously a car. Well, as of last spring, that changed. When I get corrected, my brain now agrees, yeah, that's a chair. Car makes no sense. And so now I can add associates meaning to words on the growing list of things I can do. Which reminds me, I should probably update my resume. I could still drive my daughter to school until this year, where I can now get her text, read her text, get out of bed, put pants on, make it to the garage just in time to sit in the passenger seat so kiddo and her school permit can drive to the store and get the thing that she needs for the thing, and she needed me to be with her so she can get the thing. I can tolerate longer car trips. I have to sit in the back seat with my eyes closed, my noise-canceling headphones on, and listening to calm spa music while doing breathing exercises. But I can do it. Oh, this is new. I can make dinner. Sometimes. They aren't fancy, and I tend to stick to a few favorites. But this is a big ego boost after 3 years of only being able to prep ingredients and leave the actual cooking to wifey when she gets home. I can say thank you next when a medication or a therapy or a treatment or a medical professional no longer feels like it's helping me get better. And I can recognize the importance of my actions through all this. Kiddo is watching. And this period in our family is going to have an influence on the rest of her life. Just because super active do-it-all daddy has been replaced with this slow, shaky, skinny version of me doesn't mean that she stopped looking and stopped learning. We are still here. We still have a choice. I choose to work as hard as my body will allow, laugh as often as I cough, and count the number of times I get back up, not the number of times I fall down. Even 4 years later, we are still here. I love you all. I see you all. I would hug you all if I could. Strength and health. COVID is stupid.
So what do you think? Can we take something from this? There are a lot of reasons right now to feel down or stuck. I address the long haulers out there, but to anyone listening to this right now, and the plenty of people who aren't, maybe you're in a tight spot. It could be health, family, friends, politics, or maybe your kiddo pushed you down on your canes too. But can we take a look into our attitude? Can we laugh? Can we own where we say no and yes? It's worth a shot, right? There's more coming from Mateo and I, and coming from more directions too. We'll continue to be on YouTube at COVIDiversary, but now we're also on Instagram and Facebook too. Our handle on all of those is, COVIDiversary, and that's stupid with a double O, not a U. You can also email us at covidisstupid2020@gmail.com, again with that double O. And within the next week or so, we're going to be listenable everywhere where you can get your podcasts. But that's no reason not to tell all your friends now. Let everybody know, because spreading the word is cool. But COVID is stupid.